NICTA to address abuse of ICT services. PNGDF to deploy to Hela province. And Diplomatic Corp briefed on APEC developments.
This is National MTV News with Helen Sayer.
Good evening and thank you for joining me for Thursday's news. The National Information and Communication Technology Authority will develop an industry code to address the rising abuse of ICT services in the country. The code will deal with abuse of internet by providing a minimum standard for content for service providers to comply with. Chief Executive Officer Charles Punaha says this step is necessary as NICTA is receiving more reports of ICT abuse.
Despite the enactment of the National Cybercrime Act 2016, a regulatory body NICTA is receiving increased number of complaints from the public over the abuse and improper use of ICT services. Today, NICTA announced the development of an industry code to act as a mechanism to monitor this abuse.
So we are always mindful that we will operate, our code will be developed within the compliance of the law, the existing legislations, and also we are also mindful that we have to facilitate for and respect the freedoms that are provided for.
The industry code will set a standard for all service providers to comply with. Its ISP will have an administrator to monitor websites and ensure no explicit content is published. At the moment, NICTA does not have powers to issue directions for a cease order to service providers violating the new Cybercrime Act.
We are arranging meetings with the police. I have this week requested for a meeting with the police commissioner for us to try and collaborate, work together to try and address this issue.
The developing of the industry code is progressing with NICTA ready to apply penalties to those breaking the act.
In the cybercrime legislation, we have a number of offences which can be dealt with summarily or by way of an indictment, just like the Summary Offences Act and the Criminal Code.
According to NICTA, complaints received so far are from members of parliament, senior public servants, prominent citizens and the public. Meanwhile, NICTA says service providers have 12 months left to complete the SIM card registration process. Jack Lapave Jr., National MTV News.
An advance party from the PNG Defence Force will be deployed to Hela province tomorrow. This begins operations to restore law and order within the province and enforce the illegal firearms amnesty in the lead-up to elections 2017.
There will be an advance team of 35 who depart for Hela province tomorrow. An additional 150 to 200 will be joining them later.
We fully support our police, the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary, to ensure that law and order is brought back to, to save, providing an environment that is conducive for the national elections, and also, most importantly, the security of the LNG. The security of the LNG project is very, very important.
The troops will be supporting police in enforcing the guns amnesty period that began on the 17th of this month and will end on February 28th next year. This will begin with awareness within communities. While all illegal firearms will be targeted in this amnesty period, the operation will pay particular attention to illegal high-powered weapons that have been used in the province. Owners of these weapons have hired them out to tribes within the province and to other provinces as well.
You'll find that there is also a tendency that when they return weapons, they will only return damaged weapons or homemade weapons and keep the factory made. If they do that, then after the amnesty period is over, or the information that we have will enable the troops and the police to actually go straight to whoever is in possession of those weapons or whoever the warlord is, and they will be arrested and charged accordingly.
Sarah Aupong, National MTV News.
With the elections fast approaching, Deputy Opposition Leader Sam Basil is concerned about what will happen to a shipping container holding more than 200 factory-made firearms currently being held at the PNG Defence Force barracks at Igam. Mr. Basil is calling for the firearms to be quarantined until after the national elections.
Calling on the hierarchy of Igam barracks, please hold that container for national security.
True.
We cannot let it go out because there was a statement issued by the police commissioner that that container will be moved out. And if it moves out, it will be given a matter of weeks and months. Those 200 firearms will be gone. And it will be ending up in the hands of the political cronies up in the highlands so that they can look after the election. So I believe that the commissioner, I'm calling on the commissioner now, number one, to stop issuing new licenses of firearms. And secondly, we commend them for the amnesty that they've given for unlicensed firearms to be returned. That's a good move. But let's stop giving new licenses. And the 280 high-powered containers in the firearms in the container must be quarantined in Igam barracks until after the elections.
Yeah.
The PNG Defence Force has military ships already in Milne Bay waters in response to reports of illegal fishing vessels in the province. This is a joint operation with Australia. The vessels will be investigated for illegal fishing, human and arms trafficking.
As far as the PNG Defence Force is concerned, these fishing vessels, if caught, they will be demobilized. We will not hesitate to destroy those fishing vessels as a deterrent.
Anita Siong, the Malaysian woman who was charged for illegally staying in Papua New Guinea, has been slapped with another charge. This time, the 34-year-old was charged for being in possession of marijuana. She was refused police bail and is now detained at the Waigani police station. However, her lawyer has indicated that she will be applying for a national court bail.
Siong was arrested on the 10th of December after the Immigrations Department found that she had overstayed in the country. Police had been conducting surveillance on her for at least 6 months before she was arrested. Siong was driving this vehicle, alleged to have been owned by a politician, when she was apprehended. Upon her arrest, police found a number of illegal items in her possession. These are some of the illegal items and unidentified drugs which police confiscated from Siong's house and vehicle. On December 12th, MTV News conducted an interview with Assistant Police Commissioner for NCDN Central, Sylvester Kalaut, on the arrest of the woman. ACP Kalaut then explained that the woman was released on 10,000 kina police bail, on the understanding that she will be brought back to the station for additional charges. After the unidentified drugs were tested, Siong was charged for being in possession of marijuana. Tekla Gunga, National, MTV News.
Meanwhile, NCD and Central Divisional Commander Sylvester Kalaut said police are investigating a complaint filed by Sports Minister Justin Tishchenko on allegations of his involvement with the Malaysian woman. Tishchenko wrote the letter of complaint after PNG blog through social media published defamatory information on him linking him to Anita Siong. Tishchenko stated in his letter to the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary that PNG blog had falsely accused him of associating with Siong. Commander Kalaut said investigations have begun and police are treating this matter the same as any other matter. Chief Secretary to the Government Isaac Lupari has called on members of the Diplomatic Corp to maintain stronger relationships with Papua New Guinea. He said Papua New Guinea is preparing to host the 2018 APEC meeting and information must be shared for the successful delivery of this important gathering.
Members of the Diplomatic Corp today were briefed about Papua New Guinea's upcoming events, which will need the support. Two sessions were primarily focused on the 2017 National General Elections and the 2018 APEC Summit. Chief Secretary to the Government Isaac Lupari pointed out that initiatives must be carried out in a successful manner This will advance growth and connecting all Asia-Pacific countries. On APEC, senior official and PNG ambassador Ivan Pomalio highlighted the importance of policy deliverable for the 2018 meeting. One of them is security, which is the first priority. He said policy aspects of APEC are a crucial element that will bring PNG forward. Members of the Diplomatic Corp, like New Zealand High Commissioner to PNG, Tony Taufor, was satisfied with the outcome of this briefing and Papua New Guinea's preparations towards these important meetings. He called for collaboration among member countries. Fabian Haklitz, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. The Marburg Governor Kelly Naru says tough disciplinary actions will be taken on officers who have driven up costs by accepting illegal payment claims by contractors and other individuals. State statement featured strongly in his speech when he handed down the budget on Monday. It also comes as Marburg works to pay off more than 7 million kina it owed to contractors.
Outstanding claims have plagued the Morobe provincial government this year. In November, a group of contractors gathered in front of the Morobe provincial administration building and demanded that the provincial administration settle what was owed to them.
Since 2013, coming up now, online administration, online political office, office governor, all the staff, no go money, papa long, all the outstanding, all to talk long.
The contractors claim they are owed more than 7 million kina, a figure that has neither been confirmed nor denied by the provincial administration. At the budget presentation on Monday, Morobe Governor Kelly Naru told the Tutumang that outstanding claims can't be settled in the current appropriation. However, a decision has been made to allocate 6 million kina and spread it out over the coming years to pay off the debts. What has also become clear is the lack of control that contributed to the ballooning costs. The administration has taken corrective measures to fix the problem, with the governor warning that disciplinary action will be taken on officers who facilitate any further debt to be shouldered by taxpayers. Scott Waide, National EMTV News, Ley.
A senior judge in Marburg province says the National Judicial Services is conscious of the government's development policy of bringing services to the majority of our people living in the rural areas. In conjunction with the magistrates, the National Judicial Service has a policy in place to put facilities in every district. Justice Don Sawong said for Marburg it means that they will have sub-registries in each of the 9 districts. These sub-registries will have the necessary logistics, personnel, equipment and the technical know-how.
Justice Sawong said they have already been doing circuits to Bulolo and Finchafen districts. It is now their intention to extend the service to the other 7 districts.
So that a judge goes out on circuit. A judge does not live only in the provincial headquarters. He in effect goes to the districts and hear court cases, bringing the judicial services to the people.
Sawong also pointed out that the number of cases coming into the National Court every month is alarming.
The numbers are coming in at probably 30, 25 every month with serious crimes. I don't know, what that reflects. Either the police are working very hard, or our people are, doing serious things out there. So that's a challenge.
But they are hoping this figure may drop. The National Judicial Services is planning to build a new regional court complex for the Momase region. It is estimated to cost about 100 million kina. The new court complex will be built on a portion of land that they have acquired opposite the Engau General Hospital.
The idea is to have 5 national court judges and a court of appeal judge based here in Leh. When that happens, the national court will move out of these premises. The old facility will become the magistrate service where the district court matters will be heard here.
The Morobe provincial government presented 500,000 kina to Justice Don Sawong yesterday for the upgrading and renovation of the Leh courthouse buildings. Morobe Governor Kelly Naru, when presenting the check, said it is not easy to bring judicial services to the people. Through the work partnership they have established, it will help to make it easier for some cases to be handled at the district level.
All sample heavy, you can down him long, level long, district yet, na court by stop long, house do up long man Mary.
Mataluvis, National EMTV News, Leh.
The Leh District Administration has spent 300,000 kina on supporting cooperatives around the city, open ready-made trade stores. The trade stores are from the SuperValue store chain. Groups from 5 districts of Morobe, including one from the East Sepik, have benefited from a private-public partnership. But the district authority says more funding is needed to fully roll out the program. Bethany Herman with this report.
5 stores like this one at Hunter have been opened around Leh City. Cooperatives formed by people living in areas such as Hunter, Bumbu, Tent City, Kamkumung own these shops.
But while we're waiting for that, we are working.
Leh MP Lojai Kauza says the national government must pass the SME policy on the floor of Parliament to reserve businesses for Papua New Guineans.
We must nurture them and secure that local content participation by legislation. So I am very expectantly waiting for Trade and Commerce Minister's initiative to actually get its needed approval in Cabinet and hit the floor of Parliament as a piece of legislation that will have that reserve list for our people.
The Leh District Authority is having problems with funding and needs more money from the national government to roll out the program. The stores have real potential to expand.
The stores have the location to expand into bigger businesses. While they are small to medium enterprises now, they have the potential to grow because they are located in pockets where populations are between 50 to 60,000. That's enough customer base to make a profit, pay off back the loans, and expand on business.
The authority opened the 5 stores at a cost of 300,000 kina, and another 5 will open next year.
Allocated 300,000, and we look at another 300,000, and we should complete the first 10 SVS stores. We are partnering with SVS.
In an ongoing ground zero approach to training entrepreneurs, 500 women graduated today from a financial literacy program funded by the Leh District Administration.
We are working from ground zero to train our people financial literacy.
They are now part of the other 20,000 graduates. Bethany Harriman, National EMTV News, Leh.
The opposition leader is also concerned about the alleged diversion of district and provincial service improvement program funds to cover public servant salaries. He says the government had no right to divert these funds, described it as breach of the Finance Management Act and unfair to opposition MPs. 10 million kina is allocated annually for the development funds. However, Deputy Opposition Leader Sam Basil says opposition ministers received only part of the amount for their provinces.
Opposition leader claims that the government has diverted the PSIP and DSIP budget for this year.
I have evidence before me from Treasury, Finance and Planning that the balance of the District Services Improvement Program and other development programs designed in the 2016 budget for rural Papua New Guinea have been directed by the Prime Minister to be withdrawn and be made available to pay the salaries of public servants.
He also says this is unfair and it is not right for the government to do this.
To the act of the appropriation bill, the Prime Minister or the Minister or anybody else has no authority to misappropriate or redirect those funds to go elsewhere, or swap them around, or get the funds that were meant for DSIP to be spent on operational expenditure like the salaries of public service.
However, Deputy Opposition Leader Sam Basil says his province received only 5 million for development plans. He also says this should have been done fairly rather than giving full 10 million kina funds to government leaders for their provinces, while opposition MPs receive only partial amounts.
If it would have been shared, we would have paid, or they would have forked out about 700,000-800,000 from every district and province. So it would be fair. If they've done that, we won't say anything because we give up our DSIP and PSIP money for a good cause, that is to pay for the public servants' payroll, and it can be refunded later if we can afford to. But at the moment now, they are discriminating against the opposition. The opposition is footing the bill for the payroll, while the government members have received full DSIP and PSIP money, and that's not fair.
Upon MTV's request for further comments, Chief Secretary Isaac Lupari says the DSIP are subject to cash flow and all districts have been paid in the past 4 years, regardless of whether their local members are in the government or opposition. Mr. Lupari says DSIP funds do not belong to politicians, they belong to district authorities. He challenges leaders in the opposition to commit to oath they took for the country and be honest with facts. Gaile Kivali, National MTV News.
Governor-General of Papua New Guinea Grand Chief Sir Michael Ogiel has expressed sadness at the passing of Lady Kaludia Matane, wife of former Governor-General Sir Paulius Matane. Lady Kaludia passed away on Tuesday afternoon at the Vunapope Hospital in East New Britain Province. The GG said Lady Kaludia had stood by Sir Paulius throughout his distinguished career and travelled extensively with Sir Paulius wherever his duty required. From humble beginnings, Lady Kaludia personified the grace and sense of duty as a wife and a Papua New Guinean woman. She served with great distinction and was awarded the Star of Melanesia or CSM in 2009 and was also made Commander or Sister of the Order of the Most Venerable Order of St. John of Jerusalem in 2006. And now looking at our finance news, the kina closed unchanged at $0.3150 in the interbank markets. At Bank South Pacific, your kina was buying $0.3075, $0.4230 Australian dollars, $0.2924 euro, and 35.84 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, coffee, cocoa, and copra closed higher, while gold closed the day lower. Palm oil closed higher, crude oil closed lower, while copper closed the day unchanged. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed at 32.66 points lower, the ASX is trading at 30.47 points higher, and the All Ordinaries is trading at 29.74 points higher. Among stories after the break, the search is on for the man who plowed a truck into a marketplace in Germany. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the news. A family in Port Moresby has been left homeless as a result of what they claim was an illegal eviction exercise. Their house and properties were demolished without their consent. Police were present at the site at the time of this broadcast.
This family from Gulf Province is homeless after their house and other properties at Hela in Port Moresby were destroyed in the name of eviction. MTV News arrived at the scene minutes after the demolishing exercise were conducted under police presence. The homeowner who works at the National Parliament broke down in tears when news reached her while at the workplace. Her home for the last 46 years was destroyed following an ongoing court battle.
And the drainage is a property belonging to the NCDC. And NCDC should have come and dug up this drain and make it a proper drainage for water access coming from the mountain to go through. But the people who got interest in that land reckon this is a road today, wanted to make a road right over there. So recently I've been at court for this place. They gave us a summons. He complained and gave us, I was a defendant there. So he gave us a summons. We were at court for almost 2 months, 3 months, until the magistrate gave a decision that he will get a 36. There's a portion given out there at the back, 36 at the back. The court order didn't give him to have a right to go through this way and destroy somebody else's yard or somebody else's house, to go through this way to go build his house over there. This is a drainage, and this is a very encroached area for both neighbors here. Encroached area. It cannot be an access road through this way. It's only a drainage. Drainage, and this is a drainage. Our argument is a drainage, and it cannot be an access.
The family claimed not even being served with a court order, eviction and demolition notice by police and other responsible authorities like NCDC and Lands Department. It was further claimed this was an act of bribery, which she says she will raise with the courts.
Saying, no, you can got the papers here to destroy all these things. Well, I didn't get that paper. I myself didn't get the paper yet. The eviction notice or whatever it is, I never got that. A court order. As far as I know, I've been at the court until the court gave us a decision that that person got a land there. But he cannot go through this way. He doesn't have a court order to go through and make an access through here, to come destroy somebody else's house and go through.
The family says this eviction exercise has been executed in the name of development and money, leaving people homeless, and they have become victims.
I'm too late now, something damage finish. I should give him some talk sa walo kan buruke mouse boray. Stay mo kan buruke natin without notice. If the man step out le mo kan buruke mouse. If the shock na kan.
MTV News also cited the documents from the Hela Police Station Commander, NCD Metropolitan Superintendent Banturi, and NCD Central Divisional Commander, Assistant Commissioner of Police Sylvester Calout, were contacted regarding this story and will give their responses tomorrow. Now, since the evacuation exercise was carried out this morning, it has left the family homeless. And according to NCDC enforcement officer, this exercise was not illegal. But according to the family, this house is under their title and also the portion of this land where the house is. But police here say that they have carried out the instruction from the hierarchy. Fabian Haklitz, National MTV News.
Christmas has come early for patients at the GovernorGeneral Hospital in Gulf Province. Yesterday, a team from Telecom management in Port Moresby visited the hospital and presented some food items to the doctors, nurses and patients. The presentation comes after Telecom PNG rolled out its 4G service in the province.
GovernorGeneral Hospital is the first hospital for the Telecom management to visit after rolling out their 4G service in the country. The hospital is a referral for patients in nearby Western Province and serves close to 80 patients in a day. Despite the short notice, the hospital staff welcomed the Telecom team with handshakes and smiles. The event was also a time of meeting key hospital staff and introducing Telecom products and internet services to patients and the people in Gulf.
It is also very refreshing to see that we have some young doctors. As we passed through that door, I saw some young doctors standing out there, which is good. And also committed professionals like you, Dr. Lalam, and your colleagues to be here to serve our people away from the city. We too in Telecom are committed to the service of our people across the country.
Last week, Telecom rolled out its 4G service in Gulf Province. The service comes at a time the provincial town is experiencing a monopoly in the telecommunication industry. After Gulf, Telecom will be rolling out its 4G service in the autonomous region of Bougainville and Eastern Highlands Province.
Generation mobile base station in Kerama and also Malalawa. You are the third site after Port Moresby, which is very privileged.
The Telecom team will be visiting the Port Moresby General Hospital this Saturday to also give gifts to patients and share the spirit of Christmas. Tekla Gunga, National EMTV News.
A memorandum of agreement was signed this week for a water treatment plant for Yanguru in East Sepik. Yanguru Sausia MP Richard Maru inked the contract with Water PNG Chief Executive Raka Taviri Jr. The MOA also ensures that the district complies with global industry standards, good practices and local statutory water compliance.
Under the MOA, Water PNG will provide technical and management support and operate the system on behalf of the district. The MOA is for 5 years and will also provide billing and collection services. Inking the deal, the Yanguru Sausia MP said the Yanguru water treatment plant will play a big part in developing Yanguru Station.
Our intention is in our district town, we want to make sure that life there is the same as you were living in Port Moresby. You have your water, you have your seal road, you have your power lines. Very soon we will have TV streaming through, so we can attract the best public service to come and work and live in the district.
The treatment plant will serve mostly schools, the district health center and public servants at the Yanguru station. But MP Maru says there is a growing demand to extend to nearby communities.
For us, Yanguru is only the start. We would like to partner the water board, subject to how this pilot goes. We want to partner you to also provide water in all our other satellite townships like Kumbala Station, Warasawa, Warabug and places like that. So we are very keen on making sure we extend this relationship beyond the borders of Yanguru Station.
Water PNG is prepared to continue after the first phase was completed early this year. Chief Executive Raka Taviri Jr. says it's not just providing safe, clean water, but its sustainability.
PNG has probably got the management and the technical ability to deliver this project, and that we will be working in partnership together going forward. And this MOA sets the basic framework as to how we're going to work together.
Groundwork is set to commence soon. Jack Lapave Jr., National EMTV News.
Turning overseas, the man alleged to have driven a truck into the crowd in Berlin, killing 12 people and injuring 48 others, is in hiding. While the manhunt is on, it's been revealed that the man was under investigation by counter-terrorist police, and delays to his deportation have raised questions about Germany's immigration policy.
This is the face of Europe's most wanted man, Anis Amri, a failed asylum seeker with links to extremists. Known to police for planning a robbery, he's thought to be armed and dangerous.
There's a new suspect. We are searching for him. We'll keep investigating every lead. We issued a warrant for this suspect's arrest at midnight. The warrant covers the whole of Germany and most of Europe.
DNA and documents found inside the truck used in the attack drew investigators to the 24-year-old Tunisian, who's known to use multiple aliases. He's thought to have murdered the Polish man who was meant to be driving as they fought for control of the vehicle. The fact police initially arrested the wrong man gave their new suspect a huge head start.
This person has been noticed by various security authorities in Germany because of contacts to a radical Islamic circle.
With a mass murderer on the run, heavily armed police are patrolling all major public spaces.
To be fair, with what's happened, it's probably now the safest city in the world.
Despite the warnings of another attack, locals are refusing to change their way of life.
Fear is always there, but it doesn't mean you should stay home.
Gatherings promoting peace and vigils for the dozen who died were held in Berlin again today. But there was anger too. Supporters of right-wing group Alternative for Germany say Angela Merkel has made the country unsafe with her open-door immigration policy. Controversial populist Dutch politician Geert Wilders posted a picture of the Chancellor with her hands covered in blood.
The darkness that descended over this Christmas market 2 days ago has now been lifted. The lights are all back on. The debris has all been taken away, and authorities say these stores will be reopening very soon.
Candles and cards are the only remaining signs of an attack that's shaken this city to its core.
Chukai Sports is next. I'll be back with the details. Stay tuned.
True Kai Sports.
Welcome to True Kai Sports. First to Rugby League, Port Moresby Punishers, a new team made up of boys from all over Port Moresby, will be taking part in the New Guinea Islands Super Nines tournament next year. The team has been in training for the past 6 weeks.
The team was put together by Andrew and Pauline Solomon, who formed the team to help youths in the sport of rugby league prosper in their rugby league career.
And just keep them busy over the Christmas period so they don't get involved in all these criminal activities and whatever that we don't want them to do. And most of them, like, they used to come to the house, and the same treatment that we used to give to our children, we used to give to them too.
The team is a collection of boys from different Port Moresby Rugby League and Intercity Cup teams.
It's not a team that from one suburb of the Moresby, but we are getting the boys all over Moresby. As you can see, the boys, we are getting the boys from the Royals Rugby League Club, the Brothers Rugby League Club. We're taking some from Paga. We also have a former Guria winger who is with us now, Lucas Capinius, the grand final player of the grand final player with the Guria, who is here with us. We also got a Union player who is here with us, Oswald.
In a lead-up to the NGI Nines tournament in East New Britain, they will take part in the Bank 36 Nines tournament, which kicks off this weekend in Port Moresby at the National Football Stadium.
So this Bank 36 Nines, I'm a building up team below Super Nines, NGI Super Nines. So NGI Super Nines is like big competition and a big sponsorship money coming in.
Coach Stephen Gunwa, who is said to be one of the best coaches in the POM RFL competition, was given the opportunity to lead the team and says he is confident and quite happy with the selected side.
Every time it's like the training them, smile, you can look him expression, face balance, and they're really enjoying the training, the sponsor and the team on them.
A young and vibrant team will take part in the Port Moresby Nines next year and hopes to one day enter the Port Moresby Rugby League competition. Today, sponsor Pauline Solomon presented the team's new playing jerseys.
Me full support lo Slaughter boys, and even I'm behind my husband with full support lo supporting this team to go to be a successful one.
The NGI Nines tournament will kick off on the 20th of January 2017. Elijah Levet, National MTV Sports.
PNG Swimming has seen the injection of 14 new swimmers this year. All have proven worthy of representing the country. They all participated in the FINA World Swimming Championships in Canada early this month. Pacific Games star and Commonwealth Games gold medalist Ryan Pini, along with Livingston Aika, Stanford Kawale, Ryan Maskling, Shanice Paraka, Ashley Sito and Sam Sagas are some of PNG's top swimmers competing. The highlight for PNG came in the 5th day of the tournament when the 4x50 medley team of Pini, Sito, Kawale and Sagas saw a good open record of PNG time at 1.4399 seconds, 5 seconds better than their 2014 record set. True Kai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
True Kai Sports.
Welcome back to True Kai Sports. Fleming Seretslev, the national coach for PNG men's football team, has come out strong on the poor administration of football in the country. The 70-year-old Dane said the PNG Football Association still has a lot to do to develop football and organizing a quality domestic league. This follows his criticism yesterday of the FA's apparent lack of focus.
Fleming Seretslav's initial appraisal of the approach to the treatment of the national team had been damning. In his interview, the Dane had been prepared to hold nothing back and indeed raised much concern. While funding had been one issue, the former World Cup assistant coach with Denmark had stated that PNG football lacked a professional approach considering the time frame for preparations for the World Cup qualifiers.
And for me, and for everybody else in the football world, the Nations Cup is much bigger than, for example, the Women's Under-20 World Cup. But I don't think people really realize this here. But that's actually a fact.
Flemin Sirislev's words can barely be disputed. Aside from the ticketing debacle in Singapore, he raised concern that not enough was done to expose potential national team players to the limelight.
And it was Kolo Kepo who should have his debut in Malaysia. But we were told there was no passport for him. So we had people going to the immigration taking care that he could get a passport. But they said, this man, he already has a passport. But it showed up that the club that he was connected to didn't release the passport for him.
Another issue that was raised was by PNG's under-20 women's coach Tishchenko, who had raised similar concerns prior to her departure. That Papua New Guinea had no current development programs or pathways at present.
And there is actually a lot of talent in the country here. And I really hope that we'll find a way that we can develop those players by having good preparations for the coming World Cup qualifiers when we play against Tahiti and we play against Solomon Islands.
And with only 6 days remaining until the PNGFA General Congress, these may definitely be issues to be considered by whomever gets elected. Sirislev, however, has been adamant from the earliest moment that the potential within the region to be the best footballing nation is well and truly at the hands of Papua New Guinea.
This is one of the reasons for our success in this year that soon is over. And if this will continue, that they will be even as hardworking as they have been this year, we will be able, just with a bit better preparations than we have had before, to make really good results in the coming year.
Sirislev has departed for his native Denmark for the festive period, and he had stated that regardless of his own treatment at present, his concern rests primarily on the players of this country. Jeremy Moggy, National TV Sports.
The Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games budget was unveiled late yesterday during a four-party political working group meeting in Japan. The current Tokyo-related budget stands at $4.7 billion or 15.3 billion kina.
Tokyo 2020 remains on schedule, and the $4.7 billion that's 500 billion Japanese yen, is estimated that 10% of this will be for the organization of Paralympic Games. The other entity's budget currently stands at $12.1 billion. That's 1.1 to 1.3 trillion Japanese yen. This includes a construction budget of $5.5 billion, the majority of which will leave a lasting legacy to the city of Tokyo and its citizens. The Tokyo 2022 Games will leave a number of positive legacies to Japanese society. The majority of events at the Tokyo Metropolitan Olympic and Paralympic Games will take place in two thematic and operational zones, with the athletes' village located in the intersection of the two zones. Sporting facilities that will be newly built or improved, as well as enhanced security systems, technology, transportation infrastructure, and medical care will continue to benefit Japanese society long after the Games. Shane Saroya, National NTV Sports.
And that's a wrap for True Kai Sports. Stay tuned for weather details up next.
Kai Sports. True Kai Sports.
The weather details are proudly brought to you by Dulux Weather Shield. Worth doing with Dulux.
Looking at the weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow in the southern region, showers in Port Moresby, Daru, Kerema, Alotau and Popondetta. In the Momase region, showers in Lae, Wewak and Vanimo and rain showers in Medang. In the New Guinea Islands region, rain showers in Lorengau and Kavieng, showers in Kokopo, Rabaul, Kimbe and Buka. And in the Highlands region, rain showers then morning fog in Mount Hagen, Goroka, Kundiawa, Mendi and Wabeg.
The weather details are proudly brought to you by Dulux Weather Shield, worth doing with Dulux.
Now recapping our main stories for tonight. NICTA to address abuse of ICT services, PNGDF to deploy to Hela province, and Diplomatic Corp briefed on APEC developments. And that's the way it is this Thursday, 22nd of December 2016. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Helen Sayre. Pleasant viewing. Good night.